Women have made substantial progress in recent years in attaining leadership roles throughout corporate America, but they still lag woefully behind men. There are plenty of factors: structural sexism, glass ceilings, and on and on. But one often overlooked factor is that many women simply have lower confidence than men, especially in the early stages of their careers. That's part of the reason why our next guest, fashion entrepreneur and former McKinsey & Company consultant Lisa Sun, wrote her new book entitled GRAVITAS, The 8 Strengths That Redefine Confidence. I love the story we're going to start with, because this whole concept that you're working on was inspired by negative feedback. And a lot of women remember negative feedback like it was yesterday, and men don't remember it if it was 5 minutes ago. I remember a news director in local news telling me, "You'll never be an anchor. You'll never be a host because you're not normal enough. Your name isn't normal. It's not like Mary Jones. It's Mika. And you're just, you're not normal enough." And I'm thinking, I don't even know how to respond to that, but I remember it to this day. What was your negative feedback?
Well, feedback is a gift, and that's why I think women remember it. My first boss at McKinsey when I was 22 told me I didn't have any gravitas. I didn't know what the word meant. I looked it up. I didn't have any confidence. And she told me to buy a new dress, look in the mirror, and love myself, which is very weird feedback for someone who's 22. I was a size 18, 20, making $43,000 a year 20 years ago. And she said Dumbo did not need a feather to fly, but it reminded him that he could. Every morning you have to wake up and remind yourself that you can do this job. I can teach you how to be good at it, but I can't teach you to believe in yourself.
Wow. Confidence obviously is a challenge for women in the workplace. Not only, feedback can be helpful, but it can also stick with them and stymie their growth. And many have spent a good deal of time writing, researching, and trying to solve the confidence gap, KDK, to name one. Yeah. But you say these efforts have ignored the elephant in the room. What is the elephant in the room?
The elephant in the room is that society has defined confidence as one thing. When you're told to be more confident, it's behavioral. It's speak up, throw back your chest, stand on a stage. It's very extroverted. It's one note. And what we've realized, if you look up the word confidence in the dictionary, it has nothing to do with performance or bravado or swagger. It's an understanding and appreciation of your own abilities. And so what we've realized is confidence is not a behavior. It's a mindset. It's how much do you value yourself? How much do you know your own talents before anyone else sees them? And I know you wrote a whole book about knowing your value. And that is, I think, a new paradigm, a new shift for society to see confidence not as a behavior, but as a mindset that drives behavior.
Right. It's knowing that you can do it, knowing your value. It's not saying it. It's not saying it really loudly with, arms waving. It's in here. And in the book, you lay out the 8 strengths every woman can call upon to be confident and successful. Why don't you take us through a few of them?
Well, we realize that women, it's hard for us to take an inventory of our talents. And so we launched a 1,000-person quantitative study to identify 8 strengths. They are a vocabulary for you to identify your confidence language. And those 8, leading and performing, those are the 2 most often written about, talked about. Achieving, knowing, giving and believing. We support others. We have optimism. Creating and self-sustaining. Creating in that we can manifest things. We can be resourceful, create something from nothing. And self-sustaining, which I think is the hardest one. I like myself. I don't need to impress you.
Yeah.
And I earned this seat at the table. I don't need to explain it to you.
I'm good. Part of the research in the book reveals that women's skills and contributions only continue to get better as they age, which is something I'm super focused on with 50 over 50 and the 30-50 Summit, where we really show that there's a long runway for success, and also fulfillment. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, we launched this website, myconfidencelanguage.com, where people can take a quiz to discover which of these strengths they have. It's an inventory of who you are. And what we found is that as women aged or climbed the ladder, they went on average from having 2 superpowers to 3 or 4 or more. And it means that we're just getting better with experience. And one of the most important attributes is one called creating. That's one of the strengths. It pops up when you're 25, right? That means you can envision ideas, possibility. It pops up again after the age of 55. In fact, half of women over the age of 55 have this quality. And I think it's because all of a sudden we have time, talent, and treasure to make a bigger difference in the world. So we found that women over the age of 55 were some of the most powerful and most capable in our data set.
The new book, GRAVITAS, The 8 Strengths That Redefine Confidence, is out now. And Lisa Sun, it's so great to see you. Congratulations on the book. Thanks for being on.